Hello. No need to lube up. I'm gonna be going slowly. Very slowly, because like I said, I didn't really get to comment on all the cutscenes. And there is also something that's on my mind that I want to dump on you. So, first thing, Shadow in her uniform, Sith Empire uniform. Look at her having all those idle animations. Feeling already better, not holding her side, clearly. Putting a brave face, or just not having the right animations available. One thing. Second, we ought to be moving around, right? So let's see if there's anything in the room now. This is like an extra thing that covers up the footlocker, or maybe the footlocker should be somewhere around here. Well, one way or another, there is no footlocker. We are back on the Orion again, of course. That we're gonna be exploring. Should we talk to Kobayashi again?
As is to be expected. The captain will be on the bridge. We shouldn't keep him waiting.
Well, so that's covered. Also, yeah, by the way, that's how we met Kobayashi. And he's such a swell guy, we just help anyone. That's... It should be like a juxtaposition between what she is, the dark side Sith. Well, hardly, barely. Dark side Sith. Wisdom 20, Dexterity 20? Someone's cheating. Dark side Sith and this light side golden-hearted mercenary on a smuggling ship, the size of a cruiser, of course, by the way, helping anyone. You know, it's very noble, seemingly, but it's also very unwise to help people who can just turn right back on you. Like, even in war, I don't think you get the wounded back to your hospital so that you can send them back home to come back to fight you. Right. First door. We had Drix Kalut already, that we know from the previous chapter of the mod. And he is following us, but he's not in our party. What about my party, by the way? I have no party selection, I see. So I can't confirm anything. Verbal is, of course, the droid, local droid. Oh, that's his droid, that's right. I guess. Yeah, he took it from Orion. Or did he? No, Verbal was... Was Verbal on Orion? Because he definitely had a droid, and I think it was Verbal as well. Well, shit. That continuity is fucked up. Right. So let's see. There we go.
Master, there you are. I have waited and waited patiently in your quarters for you to perform much-needed maintenance on my strained joints. Yet you do not arrive, and after searching high and low for you, I find you here. What is your explanation?
You have mechanic to do it.
Oh, I see the Sith has awakened. Master, why is she not restrained? Unless you are willing to jab her with the stun baton should she decide to damage my superior craftsmanship, I would advise that you place her safely behind the energy field of a force cage.
This is SOZ-3, my supposed assistant. I suspect I've crossed one too many wires during my fine-tuning of his rusty innards, as he seems to alternate between the role of master and droid on an almost daily basis. I call him Verbal for short.
How's that short? Strange name for a droid.
The Sith is of secondary importance. I am your primary concern. Perform the promised maintenance. I will accept no further excuses.
Don't have time. Gotta see the captain. You're welcome to come, just keep the complaining to a minimum.
Master, every day you discover new ways to disappoint me.
So he has joined our party now, alright. Can I talk to
I
Verbal?
do not wish to converse with you at this time. Goodbye.
Also he says, or it says, you should have kept her behind a force field. We have been granted an entire fucking crew cabin. It's too late to demand to be imprisoned. She should have been kept in that force field from the beginning instead.
As is to be expected.
Yes, so nothing from you either. Right, one thing then. Sacrifice of identity, she said, at the bridge. When we shall have? I'm gonna go with that. Shall have passed, but we fought the demon on the narrow stone bridge. Sacrifice of identity. So they say, to make it so that Shadow's will is being eroded now. And unfortunately, eventually they'll succeed. Ultimately they'll succeed, actually. But that's not to spoil. It doesn't matter, I will spoil it, and what's important is the road, not the destination. sacrifice of identity. She sacrificed her identity, possibly, yeah, but it's not that she forgot her childhood. Also, that's one thing. Wow, we're really doing a conga line here, huh? Not forgot her childhood. She still remembers that she was a child. It's not Johnny Mnemonic where we sacrifice 2 gigabytes of our memory to make room for data that we can smuggle, and what we've decided to sacrifice is our childhood. Second, theoretically, generally, everyone grows up. So are they sacrificing their identity? They've given up. They've lost their innocence. Is that sacrifice? Is that identity they have lost? Is it not just because they haven't changed their name? What about Teller, for instance, from Penn and Teller? Has he sacrificed his identity because he changed his name to just Teller?
As is to be.
Right, I didn't want that. I would say no. I think Shadow grew, experienced things, aged, changed, and she had to sacrifice her identity of a small, innocent child. He joined war to save people because Mandalorians were out for blood, and this is at this point we're being put in we're being put in a situation where this is presented to us as something that has been done for wrong reasons, or just it shouldn't have been done. Shadow shouldn't have gone to war, and with our hindsight being 2020 for multiple reasons, we know that it must have been done, and it was the best thing that we could have done, and people were needed for the war. Otherwise, Mandalorian would have won. Unless, of course, as usual, all of you could have just given up and possibly waited for Mandalorians to kill everyone until someone stands up to fight, because they were willing. They were here for the fight, not for any future, really. So I don't think identity sacrifice is a bad thing here. She hasn't sacrificed anything that she wasn't willing to. She had to sacrifice it one way or another. She needs to grow, she needs to age, she needs to change. So she did, just like everyone else. And just taking up mantles to be tied more to something else wasn't that bad either. Not only did he miss, but also... Wait, I thought Jumma Juice is supposed to enhance my aim?
What's wrong with you? Why did you just shoot my droid in the face?
He missed.
Don't act stupid. I was aiming for the cracking Sith, and you know it. Figured I'd save the captain the effort and shoots.
And shoots her myself? Shoot me?
Yeah, you got a problem with that? You're a Sith, and Sith are trouble.
You've got a problem with that? I would, yeah.
Always breaking things, never fixing them. Do you ever think of the mechanics when you're bombarding the world? Mechanics like me?
This is Mechanique, the Orion's resident mechanic. When
Oh.
he's at the Juma, he's pretty
The irony
wild
has
and
struck
pretty
you now?
unpredictable. You should just stay away from him until he sobers up.
Kill him now. He should be put
Actually,
in prison,
just
actually.
stay away from him, period. He's usually like this with the new guys, but when the captain brings you into the fold as a crew member, he'll wise up and stop it with the insults. Well, mostly.
A crew member?
Most here won't judge you on what you were, but on what you can become. If you stay true to your oaths, you can fit in here. No doubt about it.
If you want to judge her, do it using the blade of a viper's horde. Otherwise expect to wake up with a lot less limbs than you remember.
This one is different, I think. Not a monster like Revan or Malik, but just someone who's made a few bad decisions when choosing who to follow.
You don't know that.
Everyone makes mistakes. It's just our nature.
Not a monster.
If it's all the same to you, I'd like to sleep tonight with the lights on and a blaster at my side.
Not before you repair my droid. If you start now, there's a chance you could finish in time to get some sleep tomorrow night instead.
Why are in mechanics?
That's wrong mechanics, that's possessive.
Always at the bottom of the command chain around here. If I am ever a captain around here, the things will change. That I can promise.
You broke the droid, that has nothing to do with the chain of command.
We can waste time with Mechanique later. The captain awaits us.
Yeah, and here it is, when someone in universe actually gets struck with the irony. You named him Mechanic for us, the audience, and now the world has to actually refer to him by that name. And apparently also the actor, this guy is doing a great job here. Also, you could say it adds to Verbal's character that he is blowing out his mic, showing that the droid is not well tuned, but also I think you could have achieved that without blowing your mic. The guy noticed and conveyed that in what he says. We're not picking that up, apparently. Also, Mechanics said something that I couldn't fucking possibly read in that time. Different shooter myself, right here, right now. At least this time, all the dialogue is marked correctly for the characters. He also said, yes, the whole become a crew member just because you're some sort of an outcast and we're just gonna get you in and let you be something else. Yeah, why wouldn't, for instance, her decide to pretty much subvert all of this, take over the ship and try to fly back to Revan with the entire thing? You can't even talk to this damaged utility droid. Still talking?
As is to be expected.
Yes, still the same. Yeah, also, Shadow is supposed to have followed Revan a lot, as we'll see, hopefully. Yeah, eventually. So, it's not that... I don't think it was... Well, we as the audience, again, at this point already know that Revan didn't just made bad choices and became a monster. He knew what he was doing, because he knew what threat is coming, so he had to unite the Republic under a common banner, essentially becoming a martyr. Kobayashi need to exactly turn out like a normal human being, and she just might have been privy to that decision, considering how she followed Revan and Malak pretty much wherever they went. Alright, so that's the latest conversation. Now back to sacrifices. She sacrificed she outgrew her previous identity, and now she became something that cannot exist without Revan. And that being in a golden cage. Now, I mean that in a sense that you cannot exist without Revan. She's his shadow, and if Revan is gone, then she will be gone, because if your caster is gone, then you're no longer there. Revan is here. Revan's still alive. We also know, again, from hindsight 2020, that Revan got to live quite a few hundred years longer, and he just might outlive Shadow. I don't know how long twi'leks live, and how does that adapt or stack up with Jedi living for sensitive people. But Revan's there, and Revan's ready, and you can keep going. And now, also, you already have gone through this. You've ended up in here, pick up a new identity, another one, apparently. Was that sacrifice? Why haven't we talked about this one? You decided to stop being Revan's shadow because apparently he died, or told her to leave. And she mourns the fact that that happened. So she was already through that. She's stronger for the experience, apparently, because she's already forged a new identity, Serra Dagana, procurement officer on Orion. And just until the thing happened, which is to say Revan got back to being prominent in the galaxy again, or essentially coming across her again, all that floated back in. So we already know, and she already knows, that she's capable of living without him and going on. Like, right? It's the situation. Let me check. Unfortunately, we're not reaching that far in this log, but I'm pretty sure she mourns the loss, the death. She thought both of them could escape together and continue living and doing their work. So so if she believes Revan's dead, then she's no longer his shadow. So she gave that up completely, and still, again, gave up your identity. Apparently, you're just a shadow, but apparently she wants to be a shadow. What if she wants to be a shadow? What if someone wants to be a slave? Then they get what they wanted, right? And what would be their prerogative to change what they want? They want what they want. They don't want what they don't want. Why would they want what they don't want? They don't. So they have this golden cage. They're not free anymore, apparently. They've made such a sacrifice of identity, apparently. But she's now in this golden cage. She is in there, given power, given importance, following what she or who she thinks is important, doing what she thinks is important. At this point, you can essentially think or say any of it. Each time someone makes some sacrifices or chooses a certain path in life, they're locking themselves in a golden cage. They're no longer free to do something else that they didn't want. They're now enslaved to this idea to follow through with whatever. They need to focus now. Now they're slaves to this idea of lifting. They need to not eat carbs. They need to eat chicken, work out 3 hours a day every day, and so on and so forth. And she followed Revan, the great tactical mind, powerful Jedi, in teachings, following, developing in the Force, having importance politically too, militarily as well, really making the change, saving people. She joined to save people, and they did. And now we're here, and she was following Revan. Hold on. So she has gone to the Mandalorian Wars to save lives, and she saved all the lives. All the lives have been saved. Now you need to do something else. The war is over. You need to keep on living. What do? You can stay with your master to learn more. Apparently, obviously, he's stronger in the Force than you, so there's still something to learn from him. And Revan, did he turn Sith? Did he become a monster? Or was he always true to himself and did what he thought was the best? Again, a wisdom of the Jedi Council. They decided to wait. Would they have lost more lives if someone didn't defy them? Or would it have been better? We don't know. Possibly the former. Would it have been better if Revan run for a politician and tried to convince everyone that there is a new threat coming and you need to unite? Would that be enough? Would it be in time? Would it be successful enough to have saved more lives once the Emperor comes and the war starts anyway? Or was it better to sacrifice millions to save trillions by taking up the mantle of Dark Lord and forcing the Republic to face a great threat so they can unite and gain experience for the battle ahead? Supposedly, again with our hindsight 2020, supposedly Revan has done it because he could, and it was the right thing to do. He had the resources no one else had, the Starforge, to do what needs to be done. So he campaigned against Republic to make Republic define itself in conflict. So, like I said, I think Shadow knew. We'll see. I'll try to revise that if once we keep going forwards. And she might be distraught with what that implied, with what it required. But again, it wasn't her choice to make. It was Revan's choice. He made that choice, and she decided to follow. Put trust in him, essentially. And it was trust well placed, even if she might not know it or have doubts about it, or that she had those doubts all this time. Right, so is Mechanic has anything left to say, does he? Where did I put that Hydro Spanner? I swear one of these days I'm gonna find the Joker who keeps misplacing all my tools and teach him a lesson. He probably lost it because he's drunk. Perpetually. Wait, you're still here? Don't you have a galaxy to conquer or something? Alright, that's enough. So yeah, we've sacrificed multiple identities. We've learned to live as not a shadow anymore, and we want to be the shadow, so we've got the opportunity, we're coming back to it. We don't have the opportunity, we keep surviving, we know how to survive anymore. Continue to survive anyway, more like. And I think we've knocked out all the things, important things that were going on about all that. So let me just jump in and say, oh hey, guys, let's talk to them. This is Drick Skillut on the Orion's intercom. Kobayashi, I've briefed the captain on your findings and he is very adamant to meet with the Sith. Hurry up and get to the bridge, no excuses. Drick Skillut out. I took the liberty to pause that to get all of that out. First thing, second... Oh, I love how Drix Khalid decided to announce to the whole fucking ship that the Sith that we've captured is in fact Sith, and yet we're gonna have her talk to the captain instead of spacing her. Because, oh, okay, we might have helped her. Why are we talking to the captain? Dump her on some planet, let her find her own life anew somewhere. I don't know. We don't need to be involved or risk our lives or health doing that. So yeah, he announced to everyone that there is a Sith on board, and now I'm sure everyone is all cool about that. Meg Hanik already tried to shoot us, missed everything, and yet somehow landed shots on verbal. And alright, that's important, I don't know how SOZ3 is verbal for short. Oh shit. Why doesn't the captain just give the Sith to the Republic? I can imagine we'd quite the bounty for her. Exactly! Word around the Outer Rim is that the Republic has scored a significant victory against the Sith, though I don't know if that bodes well for us, cause we aren't really on the best of terms with either of them. I still haven't worked on that makes Captain tick. I don't think I've ever met anyone quite like him. Right. Met anyone quite like him, and as we learn later on that he's a fucking coward and he is very scared of the exchange and Damon Drexel. Right, so the thing is, recently I played Apex, and I had some good matches. I was doing great actually. I wiped out pretty much 2 squads one by one with my favorite R301. I just dumped fucking mag after mag into those people, just flanked them nicely, really caught them off guard, lasered them with the bullet streams, won a win after win, victory after victory, and it was great. Had a tight situation, was stressful, survived anyway, punched the guy to death, hit the instant replay recording button so that to save the instant replay, and it ended up it didn't save. And I was about to I was looking forward to it because there would have been such a great clips. I would have called them, why the fuck do I even pick up any other rifle than this? And it would have been great, but no, it didn't work because I keep putting the computer into sleep instead of turning it off, which apparently isn't good because that just fucking makes all the processes break. And one of them is Nvidia's recording stuff that just fucks out. You can access the options, but it changes everything. It just doesn't work. It just breaks. It just breaks. Like I said in something I did online, I think. I just want to get a new fucking computer. Oh, Ponta Khtiba. Khtiba, talk to me. No, okay. I just want a new computer. I'm not gonna transfer any fucking saves, anything like that. I'm just gonna download Steam, download all the gaming platforms, EA, Ubisoft, Epic Games. Just download the games back and just play afresh. Just maybe install a few programs that I need for work, and not fucking come back to this, because just every time I turn something on, something else breaks. Fucking it crashes on fucking startup after hibernation. Nvidia recording breaks. Fucking audio breaks. One time it records with sound, one time it records without the sound, and I have to fucking paranoidically keep checking the audio settings to see if it works as it should. You can never know whether a fresh restart is gonna fucking work right or not. Sometimes it fucks up audio formats, microphone sensitivity, fucking screens keep getting fucked up after Windows updates. KotOR Khtiba. That's a new guy. Say there, aren't you the Sith we found in the battered space freighter? How did we end up on a space freighter? Well, of course you are. I ain't never seen you around here before. Who are you? Me, you ask? I'm KotOR Khtiba. My only merchant there is on... what? On the whole ship. Not the only bit though, the other is my lad, Ponda. He's good. He's a good kid, and a useful one at that. He helps me sell our merchandise when we're out. Still, he could do with listening to my war stories every now and again. Too many folks these days repeat the mistakes of the past. Were you on war? You fought in the Mandalorian Wars? Back even further, I fought in the Great Sith War. Lots of mistakes made and lots of lessons learned. If you were once a Republic soldier, why are you now a crew member on the Orion? Oh, then I take it you haven't met the captain yet. He's quite a man and is sure as hell the only reason why I'm wasting my time aboard a smuggling vessel something. The man just gets it, all of it. I can sit there listening to him for hours, though I don't want to spoil too much of him for you, cause for you the best is yet to come. But he ended up being such a fucking coward. So now you've heard me spout myself stupa for a while. You best get to it. The Orion don't take just... Oh my fucking god. The Orion don't take just anybody you know. Wow. If only maybe it was grammatically correct, it would have been easier to read. You gotta earn your place here, he says. His name was Lukeo Tiba? Get going, kid. The captain needs to speak with you. Right. And we get like this, because she's got her own voice, so she can speak. She has one-liners to reply to the guy, and he keeps on spouting exposition. So, but nah, we as the main character, we need to press or push the narrative ourselves by clicking the only options we've got. Just skip that, like, oh, Mandalorian Wars? Oh, do you mean Mandalorian Wars? Yeah, that's an option. That's a thing, different thing to pick. Yeah, I still don't understand. Or maybe it wasn't yet the red twi'lek that was the captain. It's it was a coup, right? So it was always Damon Drexel, and he's so fucking reasonable apparently. Kobayashi, it's about time you arrived. Since informing the captain of your discoveries, he has been unusually quiet. I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
I'm sure it's nothing. Now move aside. I need to speak with the captain.
Whatever you have to say, he no longer wishes to hear. The captain only wants to speak with the Sith, and the Sith only.
I don't suppose it's too much to ask why? Nah, of course it is. We can continue our tour when the captain's finished with you. Just come find me when you're done. I'll be in my quarters.
Alright, where the fuck are your quarters?
Or maybe I'll just come and find you. Take it easy.
Exactly. Smart man. The captain is just up ahead, Sith. He is expecting you. Right. Give us the tour of the Orion. I was expecting him to go ahead and be stopping and having exposition, like with those little lines of dialogue that pop up, like with them, right, in here. And he would say, "Oh, here's our guys, Ponta and Leukemia Chtiba. They're related. One is the son of the other, and the other is our tradesman here. And these two guys are some people. And this is mechanic, and so on and so forth. And this way to the bridge. And here behind that we keep our beast or some shit like that. But no, instead he's quietly following us, like he's a member of our party, but he's not. And then he fucks off. And Damon Drexel. So I don't know. Will we squeeze that in? Probably not. Probably not. We've done a lot of philosophizing and personalizing today, I think. I complained about how upset I am that I didn't get those Apex replays to make clips out of. Like, you know, maybe they weren't the best games, but, you know, 5 kills in like a minute or two, that's pretty good. I have one on my channel called 0 to 6 in 60, I think, because, you know, it's like the play on 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, you know, like car, how fast they go, acceleration. When I got 6 kills in 1 minute, because people just kept on coming, and I kept on killing them. So you should check that short that I've got. And I had that game recently with 8 kills too, but, you know, they weren't anything special. A kill here, a kill there, maybe 2 here, but it was stretched out, so nothing to write home about, but the game lasted for 20 minutes, so eventually you piled all those bodies up. But, there's the guy, Lieutenant. He's the coward. Greetings, fellow twi'lek. I am the second in command here on the Orion. As with everyone else aboard, you are free to just call me the Lieutenant. Let me begin by saying how lucky you really are to be here. Not only are you alive, but the fact that you were even found is a testament of how brightly fortune shines upon you. Kobayashi is the one responsible for locating you and has kept a constant watch over you whilst you recovered from your injuries. Though I confess the cause of those injuries and the damage to your ship continues to elude me, if I had to speculate, I would say that you were caught up in an explosion of some kind, possibly the Sith warship which was destroyed. How did we end up on a freighter again? We were supposed to escape, right? A capital ship was destroyed? What do you know? Very little, I'm afraid. We received unconfirmed reports that there was a power surge between Sith and in the Arroyo sector, and a warship was destroyed in the battle which then resulted. In the battle which then resulted? In the struggle? The struggle was the battle. It didn't result when it what? But enough of that for now. We'll have time to confirm those reports later. Right now, you need to speak with the captain. You can call me the lieutenant. Since we're a smuggling vessel the size of a cruiser, also carrying a whole crew of a cruiser, you can call me the lieutenant. If we're not that formal, then we should call you by your name, not by your rank, like we do with Rick Skelut and Kobayashi. And you should have given him the name anyway, because, you know, you already have people who mention his name or the alien gibberish that wouldn't need to have the right words for it. Sounds, you know. Alright, so, thanks for watching though. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let's see each other in something I play for you for free. In the meantime, of course, interact with this video and every other video on my channel, preferably by watching and sharing it with your friends. Subscribe, and if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.